Now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has announced that the Government of India will be setting up fast-track courts for the NEET paper leak case, while there is a caveat that a fast-track court, of course, is and should be a fast-track court. Let's take a look at what fast-track courts really are and what some examples are in the past of when they have been set up. So, what exactly is a fast-track court? First, let's explain to you. A fast-track court is a specially designed court that is created to hear that specific case or that specific genre of cases on priority. An unprecedented move, of course, has happened earlier. The Delhi High Court has created a fast-track court now within 24 hours of an announcement by Prime Minister Modi to hear cases involving paper leaks in the country. Now, what are the benefits of a fast-track court and vis-a-vis a normal court? So, in a fast-track court, the benefits are that day-to-day proceedings take place. Also, offenders are given sentence sooner if they are convicted. Police, CBI focus on single court handling in these matters, and a designated judge focus is also there in the case of a fast-track court. Also, there are no interruptions by other cases which often happen in normal courts. Now, who will be the judges for this fast-track court? Well, Judge Anu Grover Baliga has been transferred from the 30 Hazari court to this particular assignment. The hearings will happen at the Rouse Avenue court. That's where hearings for exam leaks will take place now under this fast-track court. Let's give you an example. In a previous instance of a fast-track court, remember there are fast-track courts for rape cases as well. In 2021 Bihar rape case, the case was of a rape of an 8-year-old girl. In that matter, the trial was completed within 1 day. Within 1 day the trial was completed, we are told. The verdict was life imprisonment. Meanwhile, in the 2025 Kushinagar rape case, the rape and murder of a 7-year-old boy had been reported there. There the trial was completed within 30 working days. So, within 30 working days it was completed. The verdict was handed out, which was a death sentence and 4 lakh rupees compensation to the victim's family. In another case, which was also fast-tracked in the POCSO court, so the case was of rape of a 4-year-old girl. It was completed within months and the verdict was handed out, which was life imprisonment and a fine. Also joining us now to help us understand what exactly a fast-track court is and how this is going to help fast-track trials in exam paper leak cases, we have Dr. Swati Jindal Garg, advocate on record, Supreme Court, joining us. Dr. Garg, thank you for being with us today on NewsX. Fast-track court announced by Prime Minister Modi within 24 hours. It's been instituted. A judge has also been transferred from the 30 Hazari court to hear these matters. Firstly, how do you react to this big development and what kind of impact is it going to have on exam leak cases in the country?
Well, looking at the other side, the flip side, we now need courts to deal with the especially issues related to exam leaks. So are we proposing to have this sort of a problem on a day-to-day basis? So much so that we would need an actual court to deal with it. I thought it was a one-time thing, maybe it will never be repeated. But instead, now the courts are being set up so that they can deal with cases as if this is going to be an annual affair. Fast-track courts, well, to look at the efficacy of a fast-track court, they were introduced for the first time in the year 2000, all thanks to recommendations of the 11th Finance Commission. They were initially introduced to remove the pendency of the cases. But as of now, we have more than 700 fast-track courts across India. And we all know that the pendency of the matters is still huge. Whether this, constitution of a fast-track court and the fact that a judge has already been transferred, so and so, is actually going to sort our problems now remains to be seen. As of now, I see no end because the two other demands that were made by all these, the students who are protesting, accompanied with so many other celebrities and well-wishers, people who are asking justice for all those students who have committed suicides. There is nothing on any compensation being provided to the kin of these students. There's nothing on a resignation till now. I guess the basic criteria for why the protests came out in the first place still remains.
Okay. Let me also ask you, Dr. Swati, now about this development also now. The fact is that apart from the fast track court being set up, the law is also going to be strengthened. Do you believe that is also again a step in the right direction? The
It
law
has to be. See,
imposing
we have
penalties and convictions is going to be stepped up and made very, very severe.
it is high time because see, you tell people that, well, education is a way out of poverty. Education is the only way in which you can have a hope for a better life. And then there are these students who are preparing for more than 2 years, 3 years. They are dreaming of becoming a doctor one day, and they have that dream taken away in a matter of seconds just because there are people who are more influential, who have the economic resources to buy their way to a better position, to a better seat. Having said all this, we do need a redressal and adequate and, in fact, exemplary punishment for people who are found embroiled and people who facilitate these paper leaks. Because if a hard example is not set, these things will keep going on and on. And I believe that these things cannot be stopped until and unless we affix accountability on a person in a power position. Till the time that is done, nobody will care because everybody will keep passing the buck. And if you remember, a long time back there was another such paper leak where ultimately they will assign the blame on some lower ranking officer, some clerk somewhere, and that is that. We don't want a repeat of that incident happening. We've still not overcome that paper leak, and we are now confronted with another one without the redressal to the first one, despite years of court bazi and years of investigation. We are back to square one with a fresh example.
All right. Let me, in fact, quickly also ask you then, Dr. Swati, about fast track courts in other matters. We've seen fast track courts introduced for POCSO cases, for rape cases. How have they changed trials and the pace of them there?
Well, see, if you look at whether they have been effective, I will say that as far as comparison with the regular courts in India is concerned, yes, fast track courts do their job. So if you look at the Nirbhaya case, for example, a fast track court was set up in way back in 2012 Nirbhaya case. Then we had, if you look at the statistics, for example, like I said, more than 700 fast track courts are functional across India, and they have reportedly disposed of more than 3 lakh cases already. So if you see the average disposal in these fast track courts, because see, the frequency with which the case is listed before this court is much higher as compared to the other courts. For example, in other courts, your case will be listed after every 3 to 4 months, at least in Delhi, if you talk about the district courts. But here in fast track courts, we have almost 10 cases being disposed a month, which is comparable with only 3 cases being disposed of in a month for a regular court. So, yes, they do reduce the backlog to a certain extent. But again, like the example that you gave, where the trial happened and the result came out in a single day and the convict was sentenced to life imprisonment. I ask you, see, if the convict happens to be a person with enough resources and a battery of lawyers at his disposal, there is no way that the trial will culminate in a day. These are the convicts which we give only to share examples, and we forget that these convicts are people who were maybe rickshaw pullers, or they were squatters somewhere and they had nobody representing them, which is why it was easy to convict them. I'm talking about people who had the resources to engage a lawyer. You show me one single case where that person has been convicted within a week or a day, or forget, I'm saying even within a month. That does not happen because everywhere, all over the world, even an accused person has rights. And he will fight back, definitely. And when he fights back, he will use all the tricks in the law books to save himself. And that is why, yes, fast track courts do give us a little bit of leverage. It takes us a little bit ahead. We are faster than we are with the regular district courts. But saying that the fast track court is the only way ahead might not be the answer,
Okay.
because there's so many compromises that are made there.
All right, Dr. Swati, thank you for being with us with your perspective on that big story. Let's move on now to more updates, in fact, coming in from Himachal Pradesh, where reports indicate that 13 people have died after a landslide